Hi, I'm Eric, the service manager with Fiber Manufacturing. Today I'm going to show you how to service one of these air pumps. First things first, tools that are required. You'll need a 13 mil wrench and socket, a 15 mil wrench and socket. You'll also want a torque wrench, a ratchet or a drill with a swivel, and a number 5 metric Allen key. So first place you want to start is taking off the discharge manifold. Okay, and when you take it out, just be aware that those guys may stick up inside there, so just be aware you don't lose them. So we'll set that guy aside. So inside here, you're going to have up in here, there's going to be an O-ring up in there, and that sits on top of this plastic ring here. So you're going to want to check your balls and see that there's no light coming through. Okay, now we will flip it over and do the same. And just like that. And then in here we have the balls for the suction manifold. And you're going to want to do the same here. Check that there's no daylight between the ball and the plastic ring. Side. Okay. So we'll start with the discharge manifold. So in between here, on each connection of your discharge manifold, same with your suction manifold, there's just a plastic washer. So if you have a seal kit, you can go ahead and take all those pieces apart, and you can get at those washers to see if they need replacing. Okay, so next I will show you just the inside of this. Alright, so now that we have this off, you can, if you're having issues with your pump, you can come in here and clean it if you really want to get in there. This is pretty much all there is to it. Now, the shuttle valve housing. There is a gasket in here. Now, on taking it off. So there is a gasket down here. One thing, if you're having issues with if your pump seems to lock up too frequently and you're having to turn the air on and off to get it going again, come in here and check to see that these grooves here don't have any grease built up in that. I've seen that a couple times, so just clear that off. Sometimes it just comes over greased from factory. So inside this shuttle valve housing is this guy. This is the guy who slides back and forth. The most common thing is sometimes this guy will stop right in the middle and your pump will just stop working. So the best thing to do is just turn the air off completely and it'll kick it to one side, and it should then turn the air back on and it'll start going again. If you do service this and you do happen to drop it, this little groove, this faces down towards the pump. Okay. And the other thing too is just, you should be able to, this should be nice and able to slide nicely. So then just drop that guy in there, put that back in there with your new gasket, and bolt it back up. Just now that we've disassembled it, you've cleaned it out, replaced all your seals, now we're going to put it back together. So for the air valve housing, there's no torque spec for it. Just snug it up with an Allen wrench in a star pattern. Okay, so when you're going to put these back together, you can see there is an arrow pointing up on it, and that goes to in line with the shuttle valve housing up. All right, so once you have your bolts in, just hand tight, we're going to want to torque them. So these are the torque ratings for each of the pumps: 1.5 inch and 1 inch. Cue on screen torque settings. Okay, now it's for either pump 1.5 inch or 1 inch. For either side, left or right, whichever, it's the same torque sequence that you're going to want to follow. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're going to torque those up. Okay, so now that we've torqued both sides, 1 round each, we're going to want to do the same thing again and just go around with a follow-up torque on every bolt. Okay, so if you are changing the plastic washer in the manifolds, make sure you torque these up before installing it on the pump. Just any star pattern will do. and torque them to these torque settings for 1.5 inch and 1 inch pumps. Q torque settings. Okay, so once you have your manifolds all torqued out, we can go ahead and add in the ball, new seals, plastic ring. You're going to start with the suction with the pump upside down first, and then just take your suction manifold, and you can put it this way or this way, doesn't matter. Just put that on there and just square it up nicely with your, just by feel, and get your bolts in and torque them down. And you're going to want to do a star pattern, but always starting on the inside with an inside bolt. Okay, so once you get your suction manifold all torqued up, we're going to want to get our discharge on. So we can go ahead, balls in, new seal with plastic ring. Okay. Now just with your thumbs on the outside, you can get that discharge manifold on there, and same with as you did with the suction, just square it up by feel. And get the bolts in and torque them up in the same fashion with an X pattern, starting with the inside with an inside bolt. And you're going to want to do one side, torque the other side, and then go back for your second round of torquing. Okay, so that's how you disassemble and reassemble and torque up your air pump. As for general maintenance, just a couple drops of air tool oil, like once a month, or every 500 hours. And as for cleaner, inside, if you're going to clean it out with a cleaner, you will have to see the manufacturer's specification of whoever manufactures that, the chemical that you've been putting through this. Whatever cleaner they recommend, that's what you're going to use here. And that should be everything you need to know.